Hey guys, okay, today we're going to be talking about a Bricklayer Perm. There is nothing different with how you roll the perm. You're still going to use your end wraps. You're still going to use your technique of rolling. Typically, whenever I roll a perm, the rods I always roll towards the front forehead so these don't fall down the first two or three. And then after that I roll back just like you normally do. And now we're going to talk about bricklay. And with a bricklay perm, you need to make sure that you're thinking about a brick wall. You know, when you do a regular perm, you have these rods and they just go straight back. Well, that's not going to be the case on a bricklay perm. On a bricklay perm, these rods are going to be laid like brick. So if I'm going to give you an example, this is our first rod here. The rod behind it should be halfway and the other rod should be halfway, okay? So that you have the rods. So the first one's here, and I'm going to show you now. See if I can get this head to lean forward quite a bit for you. So my next rod, you can see I have these rods here, just like this. So my next rod should be here, and then the next rod should be here, okay? So I'm gonna go ahead and roll that. Let's see if I can roll it down like this, I will try, but that's gonna be kind of difficult for me, but I'll definitely try for you guys, okay? Okay, so we're gonna just take a parting. You know that your sectioning you should have is gonna be the size of your rod, right? Okay, so you cannot go bigger than this right here, okay? So if I wanted to take a nice long section, I can start here, size of my rod, come over here, and then grab this section and pull everything else back. Once I get that section, you could go ahead and section everything else off too. Go ahead and bring all this down, because that's your next section, and everything else should just go back. So you can just bring all this out. And then everything else, just comb it back out of your way. If you want to go ahead and do the other side as well, you can take that same section and go back. Pull this hair out and get all this out of your way. Pull this hair down, get this out and out of your way. And how you can really make sure, just go ahead and spray that. Get it nice and wet. And that way that hair will stay out of your way. Because it's nice and wet and it's ready for your next sectioning, okay? Okay, so I know that I have this whole section of hair here right behind this rod. So normally we would just put a rod here and then a rod here and just keep going back, right? Well, we can't do that now. So now my next rod needs to go halfway, where this end is halfway into this rod, okay? Does that make sense to everybody? So you want to still get the hair length, right? So we're going to take about that section over there and just get the same as our sectioning of our rod. So I'm trying to do this, and let's see if I can just raise this up some for you. Maybe if I do this, it'll be a lot easier for you to see and easier for me as well. Okay guys, maybe this is better. Okay, so I have my sections ready. So I'm just going to grab this section of hair again. You can do bookend, you can do lengthwise, whatever you want to do. You can put two together. It's whatever you want to do on rolling this. So if you do a bookend, it's just going to be like this. Just bring that hair up. Try to make sure that you don't drop any of the hair. You don't get air out of the end of your oops. Let's bring this back up again. Little rock and roll there. And notice where my rod ended up, okay? The middle of my rod is on the ends of these. The middle of the end of this rod is on the middle of this rod, okay? Let that wind out because you don't want that twisted when you hook it. And then we're just going to add the other side. Okay, so I got my rods going here. A little bit of rock and roll here. And let those meet there. Now, I will continue going all the way down. And then my next rod, once I go all the way down, just meeting these there all the way down, my next rod is going to go here in the middle. Okay, so you can see I started here, then I put two here end to end. Now I'm back to just like the Mohawk section where I put the next one here right in the middle. And then my next two will go here. So you can see now that's starting to look just like a bricklay, like a brick wall, right? That's why we call it a Bricklayer Perm. And this is what you want your practical to look like. So sorry for the video that it was a little messy there for a little bit, but at least now you get the gist of it. And you can continue with your practical. Okay, so guys, that's a quick overview on the Bricklayer Perm. And then we'll move to our next segment.